As the SOC analyst will always work in hand with some vital parts of the internet. Networking is a very interesting part of it. So we will be looking at networking and threat fundamentals, where we'll look at some threats, we'll do some active scannings and reconnaissance actions. Then we'll also look at how to use Wireshark to inspect packages. When you suspect something, how to, go through it to filter it out and get the things you want. After this particular section, the next section would be Wazoo, which is the same tool, going through the Wazoo and look around on how it functions, what is inside it, and everything. So we will kick off now. The interference on your side is high, but this one is manageable than the previous one. Yes, I asked you a question yesterday that you were trying to explain. Could you go about it again now? I said you've done the first two classes. What do you think ahead? What plans do you have ahead? What do you think the next few weeks is going to hold, and what's your plan?
Um, from what I was saying yesterday, the way I am taking this class is like a last resort to to um, last resort at a career perspective. I have done I have done data analysis. I am good at data analysis, but very unfortunate I couldn't get any job with it. So that is why when the opportunity presented itself, I took cybersecurity opportunity because it's basically my last resort. It's almost that I've done everything else I'm supposed to do except this. So I'm looking forward to getting the best out of this class, and I
Interesting.
mean the absolute best. So
Interesting.
because uh, I want a situation where after this class and subsequent self practices and all that, and passing that ISC exam, because I'm not just going to write ISC exam the way I have planned it. It's not just ISC. After ISC, I'm going to write the computer security exams,
Mm.
but I want to take it one step at a time.
Yes.
So I, what I hope to get out of all of this is when I am done, I need to be able to, you know, this is like the goal for everybody going into any kind of
Mm-hmm.
career. I need to get a job.
Mm-hmm.
I need a job. Cyber data analysis did not present me with that opportunity, but I am hoping the way the uh, technology and the digital world is now, I know that I'm going to get something with cyber security,
Yeah.
especially the stock analyst part of it. So that is what I am hoping to get out of this class and subsequent classes.
Okay. Interestingly, while this training might just be like, or it might just look like any other training, we are also bent in doing some career coaching sidelines. For example, the reason why I asked you this question is for me to know the the angle and the direction we're looking at. So having explained all this now, you very good in data analysis, and very soon you'll be very good in cybersecurity. One thing is sure, that opportunity it will come one day. It will come soon. Okay,
Yeah.
for the job, and you might be shocked you get the two of them at the same time. You might be so shocked how network does it. And another thing also I found out from people who have the kind of hunger you have is they they tend to build something that lasts. You have to also expand your capacity into offering services, not just working for someone. Okay, so you know what is required in data analysis, what businesses require. Then you set up a package. Don't go for the pieces of it. You go for the bulk. Don't be scared. You go for the bulk. Even if everything that has to do with a career is 100% and you know 40 very well. 40 is even too much. Some people just they know 10% of it very well, and they have a company that does that. They outsource the remaining solutions, meaning that they know what they are supposed to do. So when they are getting this person, come, this is what you're supposed to do, this is what you're supposed to do, you. They talk to the client, and the client talk to them, then talk to him, while he is the one that talks to the people that are under him. I don't know whether you understand what I mean. So
Yes, yes.
while we are still looking for a standalone job offer, take also a step back and look at, am I really called, or do I also have the capacity to offer a services to people as a bulk? Now the last what's it called, sorry, I might have to mute you a bit. Man, it was too much. They, for example, someone who said, I'm very good at graphics, I can do flyer, I can do wonderful flyers. Yes, you could do wonderful flyers, but that's not where the money is. The money is in social media manager. You go for the bulk, you go for the father. I offer social media services. How much do you charge for a duration of running a management for a duration of 6 months? I charge 10 million, 6 million, 4 million, 5 million for a duration of 6 months. Okay, you go ahead with the contract, you win it. Your own side, you know you're very good in graphics designing, fantastic. So the other parts of social media marketing, you now employ them, you pay them monthly with monthly targets. You now find out that you have the bulk side of the funding. You control the funding. You are not just being paid for doing flyer of 50,000 or 100,000. You now have the capital budget of 2 million. You pay the people who are going to run the other parts per month. Probably you pay them 100,000, 200,000, which will be very much appreciated by them. So I don't know whether you understand where I'm coming from. Smart. Do you? You can unmute yourself. I muted you.
Okay. Yes, yes, I understand. I
So
understand what you mean. I understand
so
what you mean.
at your free time, also think about these ways, because Nigeria is a very, very interesting place to be. When you know how to do or what to get around where you want to get to, and you have some networks around you, then you shouldn't be leaving any much crumbs on the table. You go for the big stuffs. Okay, so let's fire on. That was a nice one. So at the end of this particular section, we'll be able to explain the structure of computer networks. It's the least part of it, using the OSI and TCP/IP models. We also identify and interpret common network protocols, ports, and traffic flows. Then you also have to use a tool called Nmap, basically used in initial reconnaissance actions in the SOC environment and cybersecurity section overall. So you use Nmap to perform reconnaissance and vulnerability scanning on networks and applications. Then you also capture and analyze network traffic using another important tool. So this is a third tool. Wireshark is a very interesting tool in this industry too. Using Wireshark, then also recognize indicators of malicious network activity while looking at the stuffs that are in Wireshark. Also, you have to learn how to document findings as a SOC-friendly personnel. Just okay. So I believe you must have come across the OSI model when you going through your IS2 plan and preparations. Even though you've not come across it, now we are in SOC. We are still going to talk about it, and we'll look at it from a SOC perspective. So the OSI model has 7 layers, and starting from the first to the seventh one. The first layer is a physical layer, and what happens in the or what we can find in the physical layer is we find the cables, the Wi-Fi, the routers. So those guys are on the physical layer, and how important are they to SOC? That is where hardware tampering happens. If someone hijacks or infiltrates your router or your cables, or maybe use a malicious cable to attach your Wi-Fi to your machines, some kind of malicious activities also happen here. Then the second layer, which is the data link, we find the app and the Mac. You have to ensure that you find out the full meaning of all these abbreviations. And have you set up your what's it called? Your ChatGPT assistant?
Set up your workbench.
Okay. During this training, I would want you to set up a chat thread with ChatGPT basically for this particular training. So you bounce questions and ideas to it back and forth, and also you use it to keep track of the things you've learned per week or per day, so that at the end of the training, it will be able to consolidate all your skills and all the things you've learned and extract a unique resume for you, which will be unique to you and your skills. Do you understand?
Yes, I do. I do. That will not be a problem.
Okay, so please ensure to do that. So, for example, we are now in a network and threats stuff. You still bounce through it, the things you've learned. Then, if there are questions from this particular section, you bounce it through it. Then you get more extended learnings from it. At the end of your training, will you ask it to give you a created resume based on what you've learned or what you've been doing all this while? It will be very easy for you to consolidate all of them and give you a unique. So in the data link layer, app poisoning happens here. So, for example, now you're going to check out what is app in data link. And what does app poisoning mean? You're going to find that out. So on the third layer, we have the network, and of course, inside the network layer, we get the IP and ICMP. Inside this particular layer, spoofing and routing anomalies happen here. People can spoof your IP network or the IP networks, IP addresses of your clients or the people you are working with. So it happens here also. So on the fourth layer, we have the transport. I've muted you, please. Whenever you want to ask questions, you just signal and let me know. Mute yourself. Your voice is clearer, but interference from the background is loud, is very much, even when you're not talking. So on the fourth layer, we have the transport layer, and of course, you're going to get the TCP and the UDP here. Can you remember again what is TCP? Do you know the full meaning of TCP? Any idea? Do you know the full meaning of TCP?
Yes, transmission control protocol.
Okay, good. Thank you. So in this transport layer, that's where we found the TCP and the UDP. Then port scanning, DOS attacks, and the likes, they happen in this layer. So when we are sieving the network to find issues, we'll know the direct areas or layers we should be expecting to look for what we're looking for. In the layer 5, we get the session layer. And here, that's where we'll get the net BIOS and the RPC. What happens here also is a session hijacking. Someone can hijack the session, or even, for example, when you're using a Bob suite, you can freeze the session and do whatever you want to do. Persistence also happens here, just like we did in the beginners class where we freezed the session of Bob's what's it called, juice shop. Then iterated passwords until we got the right one that went through. So that was a layer 5 session hijacking period. So on layer 6, we have the presentation layer, and this is where we should expect our SSL and TSL for encryptions. So how is it important to SOC encryption and certificate validation happens here. Then the last layer, which is layer 7, is where we get the application layer. And there we get the HTTP, DNS, FTP, file transfer protocol. These ones are the ones who does the job. They are the ones we need to go get and fetch stuff for us. Their relevance in SOC is user level threats happen here, especially phishing. When someone sends you a phishing link that is on HTTP page and it goes through, DNS tunneling also happens here. So this is a brief chunk on the OSI model and how they relate to the SOC. Any question here?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay. So going ahead, we're going to be doing a lot of labs in this class, in this particular one. So I think I have my machines ready to go, ready to go. So depending on how fast you might be, you might be doing the labs at the same time with me, or you might also just pay attention so that we get the same result, we get the result, and look at it carefully so that when you are now redoing yours at home or in your own time, you will be able to comprehend full. So I'm sharing the screens. Okay. I'm using the command line, which is on the Kali, and I'm using the one that has admin rights. So that's why it's asking me for my password. So I will need admin rights for the things I'm going to be doing, for the labs I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to be logging in. So we say that every service communicates over a port number. And we're going to be looking at some services here, the protocol number they are working on, the description, and example threats. What are the kind of threats that can happen using those services or using those port numbers? Then at the end, we'll run some sample labs to understand or check the stuffs that are happening. Then we'll find out some of these stuffs. So let's go one step at a time. Sorry about that. I almost put my device on do not disturb. I don't know why I skipped it. Okay, so the first is port 22, and port 22 runs the protocol of SSH, and SSH carries out secure remote access. Do you know the unsecure brother of port 22, which is SSH? Hello?
No, no, I don't.
Okay, so when you're watching this video, take it as also some class work. Port 22 has an unsecure collabo. So just like this one is secure, which is secure shell, we have the one that is not secure. And it is telnet. The name is telnet. So you're gonna find the port number. I already told you the name, which is telnet. Then you it's part of additions. Oh boy. I wish you can keep your mic on, but at the same time it's going to spoil your recording. I wish you could just keep it on. So in the port 22, you're going to be having threats like brute force attack, and they're coming so that they can be able to break the protocols or break the password. When you are connecting remotely to a location or a service, it will be advisable for you to go through the secure port, which is port 22. But yet, even this port 22 is vulnerable to brute force attack if it is not validated properly. So the second one is port 80, which is a more common one, which is HTTP. It's not protected and it runs for web traffic. And of course, injection attacks are prone to port 8. Port 443, on the other hand, is the brother of port 80, now with an S, which stands for the security. So we have the HTTPS, secure. And it is, can you increase your volume? Okay. Trust me, it is still the same volume. It's just the new microphone you have now. But it's all right. What about now? Is it loud enough? Okay. I'm looking for how to keep it closer to me. Okay, the port 443, like I said, is running the HTTPS and encrypted web. That is what it passes through. Then the threat that is vulnerable to it is also hidden malware. There might be hidden malwares under the HTTPS umbrella. 53 also runs DNS, domain name service, the system. And it resolutes domain names. It's used for domain name resolution. The threats that can run under it are DNS tunneling. So when we run our scans on networks and you come across any of these ports or any ports, you have to go the extra mile to check these ports, what are they running? If you are not sure what they are running, then are they vulnerable at any point? Or what are they vulnerable to? That is what you could do, and that is what we are going to be doing now. So we have 445, port 445, which is a SMB, server message block. Also takes care of file sharings, and when someone gets in through here, the person is going to try lateral movement, going to try to move from one part of the network to the other. So the last here is a port 3389, which is remote desktop protocol, RDP. And of course, when it is not validated properly, an unauthorized access could mean a lot in the system. So we are going to run on our first lab, we're going to run this code sudo net start to investigate any unknown ports or services with that is happening. So to run this command first, you should have your Nmap ready, and of course you know that Nmap is embedded in your Kali Linux. So we're going to run this command now. Sudo, in case you are not using an elevated command, but I will still use it since I'm using an elevated command, so I'm still going to use it. So I'm going to use sudo net start -tuln. So now another thing you're going to be doing is, since you're coming in new, whenever you run any command on your Linux, do well to copy it out, that result and the command, copy it, send it to your AI assistant that we just set up now, and let it explain it to you. It will explain it to you. So in this our result now, active internet connection only servers, to find out the state of my TCP is running, and I don't think it's listening. Okay, yes, it is listening. It's still listening, and it's running on. But 8834 is listening. I have a Nexus USD service running on my system. If you run this on your system, it's going to bring out of course, your local address that is running, then any port number that is running any service on your system. See, I have port 33731 running. I don't know what it is. I have to go find out what it is. 8834 is running. I know what 88334 is on my system. It is running the Nexus. So you're going to run this code to check out what is running on your system, the network or the services that are running currently. You take them to your AI assistant, then it will explain to you what services are running. So I'm still going to go down to check what exactly, whether it's truly my Nexus that is running on port 8834. So sudo SSTULND grep GREP 8834. Okay, it brought out the real stuff that is running, and it is Nexus. So let me run the same command for the 33731 and see what is there. 33731 container. Okay, I have a container that is not yet, it is on my system. I don't think it's still functional, but it's running there. Now, these are some of the recognize or some of the parts that when you run them in your network on your system, it gives you an overview of some ports that are open and some ports that are running in your system. And you have to go the extra mile to check what exactly is running. You don't just see it running. And for example, if I go to my AI system and ask it about these services, it will have to query you, or it will query me. It will tell me, okay, this is what it looks like it is running. But if you did not permission this to run, then of course the next thing to do is to close it. So down here is, I said, if a SOC analyst finds an RDP open to the public, what risk exists and how should they respond? RDP is remote desktop protocol. If you run a scan and you find out that RDP is open, what are you going to do? What are you expected to do? You're expected to shut it down or ensure that it passes through a validation. Still on running our scanning and discovery for reconnaissance and defensive assessment. Basically, the tool that enables us to run extensive discovery and scanning is called the Nmap tool, the network mapper, and is used to map networks and detect open services. SOC analysts use it to validate what is running inside a network. So if you have a hunch that something is running and you don't know what it is, this tool will help you to do that. So go ahead. I see your hand.
Um, from what you were doing on that Kali Linux, all these uh, all these things it brought out when you typed in your sudo network TULN.
Yeah,
Is it you said it's the service is running on your system?
on my own. Yes, I'm seeing the one you shared now,
On
and
my
there's
own,
no
yes,
service
I'm
running on
seeing the
your
one
own.
you shared now, and there's no service running on your own. Okay, okay, because that is what I want to understand. I was
Yeah.
expecting to get the same result as yours.
These are what is running on my own. So it's
What
smart
is
that you are able to run it and cross
it's
check it as we're going. So the next ones, as we're going to be doing the next ones, please, if you're smart enough or shares fast enough, still run them, and we'll be analyzing the results as we go. So that's a nice one. Okay. So like I said, SOC analysts use the Nmap to validate what is running inside a network, and attackers also use it to understand, and it helps them to defend. The attackers use the Nmap also. Understanding it helps you defend any spot that you've seen during the reconnaissance time. Now we're going to run this code, this command, and it's going to show us all live hosts in our system. This command you ran that showed you nothing on your network, if you are actually in a client's network, or if you are in a production live network as a SOC analyst, and you're trying to find out what is running and who is who inside the network, that command will give you the processes, just like it brought out in some of my own, to bring out the processes that are running, and from there you will get validated informations on it. So we're going to run this now to show all the live hosts that is running on my own particular system. So nmap sn. Meanwhile, of course, you should know how to get. Do you know how to get your IP address? What command should I use to find my own IP address?
What command should I use to find my own IP address? I think it's ipconfig, or is it ifconfig?
Now, yeah, IP config is for Windows, while if config is for
Windows. Why
Linux.
if config is for
Something is echoing. Do you know what it is?
something is echoing? Do you know what it is? You mean from my end?
Yes.
Yes. Wait, let me. I think it's this fan that is on.
Is your fan receiving echo?
Is it better? Is your fan receiving echo?
I'm hearing myself. That's why.
Is it better now?
No, I'm hearing myself.
That's why. No, I'm hearing myself. Oh, okay. You are connected to the TV.
Interesting.
Interesting.
I'm still hearing myself. So you either reduce the volume of the TV, mute the TV, reduce the volume of the TV totally so that we can be using one voice. No, you muted yourself. Mute the volume of the TV so that we can be using the volume of the laptop. How did that work? Done?
Can you still hear yourself?
Let me check. No, perfect. Leave it like this. It is perfect and it is good. No interference. Fantastic. Okay, so if config interference have started coming small small. Interference have started coming small small. Okay, it's going to give you all the informations about your network. But the easiest way I use to get both my private and my public address is a host name dash hyphen host name name dash capital letter I. So it gives me my IP address, which is 192.168.1.8.111. Then it also gives me my public address, 172.18.0.1. Do you see that? So can you run that now? Let's see what it's going to give to you. But I didn't want you to be, if you can be running them and be sending so that I wouldn't be waiting for you, that'll be fine. Okay?
Yeah. I got my IP address.
Which of the commands did you use?
I used the first one, and then I used the host name /
Okay.
I.
Okay, it gave you your private and your public address, right?
Just the private.
You are connected to the internet now. It should give you. Did you use small I or big I?
Capital I.
Try it with a small I. Let's see. Okay, small I should only give you your
Okay.
what's it called? I think your broadcast address. What did it give you? Just a minute. Let me take this call. Yeah, it only give you your private IP address and not your public IP address. Probably anyway. That's not a matter of concern. You can still find out your public IP address on Google. Just my IP. When you go to Google and type my IP, it will show you your your public IP address. Okay, so now let's run the all host command. Do you know how to find all the devices that are in your network?
No.
Okay, those were beginners class stuff. So let's do that also. Now we are talking about scanning. Nmap um, dash sn dash, that's your IP address that you found now, 192.168.8.1. I've forgotten my IP address that I found now. I've forgotten it. Hmm. Okay, I'm 111. Okay. So nmap sn 192.168.8.111. Can even do starting from the first one, but it has to end with 24/24. So you should pull out all the devices that are attached to my network. That is what is expected to do. Okay. So I have how many devices? Is it even done? I am 111. Did it find 111 also? Okay, it found 111. So how many devices did it find? How many devices are attached to my network? Can you see it? How many? Are you there? Hello?
Yes, yes. I'm looking at it.
Okay. Are you counting it one
Um,
after the other? Are you counting it one after the other? Look at where you're going to look at where your eye should be. How many
I got it.
hosts?
Yes, yes, 10 hosts.
Yeah, 10 hosts
10
means I
hosts are
have,
up.
yeah, I mean I have 10 devices that are connected to my internet. And from here I can scan any one of them. I can what's it called? Inject or try to find out what they are running, who they are, what they are using, anything. And that is why it is not really advisable to join a public network when you don't have security. So if someone, let's assume that this network is a public free network, they say come and use a public Wi-Fi network, and you are one of these people here, you are one of the hosts here. I can now decide to, okay, let me check who this person is. From here, from this your address that is here, I can penetrate into your system, find out anything I want to find out, look at your calls, your records, your passwords, everything. It's very possible. But if there is a protection from your end first before even joining the public network, it will be a bit difficult for me or for the person that is doing the actions. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so you run the command, run the port. This is port command, and check how many. Sorry, what's it called? It's not port. This is a device connectivity command to check how many devices that are connected to your network. You can run that and send it on the WhatsApp.
I have 3 devices now.
Okay. Interesting.
Sending
Interesting.
sending to the WhatsApp now.
Okay. Yeah, 3 hosts up. So you're on 192.168.0 network line. Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we've done that. Let's go. Let's or go back to our discovery and scanning. What we want to do here is to check, do a network scan to find out live host, if there is any live host on our network. And you're going to do that by running your IP address .0. I think you should try .0 then /24, meaning you are in a network of 192. From what I'm seeing here, you're in a network of 192.168.0. Now use 192.168.0.0/24. So because we are using the last octet, as 0, and that is why I want us to, let's try the last octet as 0/24 to check if there are any live hosts on our network. Nmap SN 192.168.8.0/24. Okay. Devices. So it means that all these devices that are here are up and they are live. You're expected to also get your 3 devices which they are live and they are up, meaning if we start talking to them, they should be able to talk back to us. So the next one is to, yes, yeah, I've seen it. So the next one is IP devices you want to deep scan. If you want to do a deep scan of any address or any host, this scan will bring out the service, it will bring out the port number, and it will bring out the OS version. It's going to, this is a deep scan. For example, if you are working and you find that a network that you want to probe the network, you want to do a deep scan of what this network or what this device is running on. So that is what we're going to be doing now, and this is the command we are going to be running to get that. Sudo nmap SV. When you are running these codes or running your stuff across your AI assistant, it can actually tell you what all these single command line stands for. For example, it will tell you that the SS stands for this -SV stands for this, for version, for this. It will tell you the specific work of that particular code. Do you understand me?
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. So -O.
Is it 0 or O?
Yeah, capital O. Then 192.168.8.111.
That's going to be my IP address there.
Yes, use your IP address or any of the IP address that is found on your system. Those 3 IP address, any one of them, either yours or the ones that are there. Okay, So I have a result here. It says host is up. All 1000 scanned ports on this device are in ignored state. Not shown. 1000 closed TCP ports. Too many fingerprints match this host to give specific OS details. Network distance is 0 hops. OS and service detection performed. Please report any incorrect details. Okay, now this is Linux and it has so many of the ports on closed. I'm going to also do it. Let me run it on my Windows. Let me run this command on my Windows desktop, not inside my Windows, but I'm going to use the Windows address to run it. Okay, you got the same thing. Do you know which one of your addresses is the Windows? Go to your PowerShell or your Windows command line. Now type do an IP config so that it can give you the address. Then you now match the address to the address that you found on your Kali Linux. If you now see that, okay, this is the Windows one, then you will now use it and rerun this deep scan we did so that you will see what or how your Windows is standing. IP config. Any question? Do you understand what I mean?
Yes, I understand. I have done that.
Okay. My Windows is 107. My Windows is .107. So I'm going to rerun the deep scan with .107. Let me see. Okay, this one brought out a lot of information. The Windows brought out a lot of information, and of course, you know, Windows systems most times they are very vulnerable. At least they are more vulnerable than Linux systems. So this is my Nmap scan report, deep scan report on this. The host is up, not shown. 997 is closed, but 3 are open. And out of those 3 ports that are open, port 135 is running a TCP and it is open and it is running a service of MSRPC, which is a Microsoft service. Port 139 is also open and up, is running NetBIOS. Port 445 TCP is open, Microsoft DS, and also it brought out my MAC address, device type general purpose, running a Microsoft Windows 10. These are the kind of IOCs. If you are doing a deep scan or search on a device, these are the informations that are very important to be added into your report. Then the operating system is Microsoft Windows 10. We got that also. And very interesting deep scan results that I got. Makes me to wonder, and also you should wonder, can you actually do this on an external device that is not running on your network? The answer is yes, you can, but under a privileged environment, meaning you must either own that network or you must be given permission to run such scans and networks, because ordinary running scans like this can lead you into problem. The police can arrest you, the owners can press charges on you, showing that they didn't give you permission to do that, but with permission you can get all this done. Okay, interesting. You have a lot of
How will they know that
if, for example, now this stuff I run now, if I check the Wazoo, if my Windows is connected to the Wazoo, I'm going to find out this trademark. I'm going to see it, and it's going to show who is doing it. It's going to show my IP address. Networks and organizations have systems that keep an eye on their environment. If you come knocking, they will see you, and they will know that someone is looking around. So you have a whole lot of ports that are open on your Windows. So don't clear your tab, don't clear your what's it called, unless you've cleared it. But if you have not cleared it, good, so that you can be collecting all this information, go and walk it through back to back with your AI assistant, so that it will explain to you all these services that are running, the ones that are vulnerable and the ones that are not. Do you understand me? Do you understand? Are you there?
No, I didn't get what you said. Your voice was going up.
I said that your result is a
Yes, I'm
fantastic
here. Your
one.
voice was going up. I didn't get everything you said.
Your result, this deep scan you ran now, is a fantastic one, and it has enough information. So take the result to your AI assistant and tell it to explain to you in SOC terms. As a SOC analyst, explain this deep scan result to me. It will highlight all of them for you and tell you which one of them are vulnerable. For example, I'm seeing your HTTP. I'm seeing port 8000 open HTTP. I'm also seeing 8089 open on SSL. So many interesting ports are very open on your Windows. So bounce it back to your AI assistant and it will give you a detailed breakdown. I hope that is gotten right.
Uh,
So
yes,
on the
yes, yes.
file, yes, yeah, on the file here, look at an example of what it means here. For example, 192.168.81 is my router. The risk level is low, and under the SOC Insight normal gateway device, recommended action, restrict admin access and change default credentials. 192.168.8.105, Wazoo is running. Under the SOC Insight, I said expected to be running, but it's not responding. I have to check the status to know why it is responding. So this is my own breakdown on my stuff. And now look at on the Windows. Windows is open 101, and it is exposing SMB and RCP port. And I'm sure on your own SMB and RCP ports will also be exposed. But when you run it through your AI assistant, it's going to show you that. And if you come across it, you will still make a report on it. Then the expected or recommended action is to patch immediately, disable SMB version 1, and enforce firewall rules. So that is what it looks like. Let's perform the last, what is the time now? This is 11:12. Let me see how many other. Okay. The next one will be port scanning. Funny enough, we've done port scanning now. I didn't even know it was here in the lesson and we did it. So the next scanning is a port scanning, whereby we use the Nmap -P, then do a scanning. So this particular 1 to 1024 is if you want to, it is a port range. If you want to say, okay, I'm looking out for the ports from this range, from port 1 to 1024, then you use it. But if you want it to scan, if you want it to do automatic scan without putting the range, it will do the first 1000. Then if you want it to scan the entire 55,536 ports, I think so, then also I think there is an elevated command to make sure that it scans all, which is going to take time by the time you're doing it. So if you are going through this class on your letter time, when you get to this point, remember that I want you to find out the command that you're going to use to do that entire full scan, full 55,000 plus port scan. So you're going to get that and submit it as part of the assignments too. the passive one. So when I ran the first 1000 from 1 to 1024 scan, I got these ports. And if you check this on this your Windows ports, 135, is your 135 open? Yes, I can see your 135 open. MSRP. Is your 139 open? Check it on the result you have on your Windows scan. Is your 139 open? Are you there? Thank you.
Yes, it's open. It's open.
Okay, what about 445? Is your 445 open?
Yes, it's open.
Okay, good. So when you're on this document, if you click on this link that is here, it is a result of the scan and the analysis it gave. So on the scans that I ran, it gave the results and the analysis. For example, it also highlighted the SOC risk analysis, the risk level, why it matters, and immediate effect. So when you're doing your revision, ensure that you also look at the results that is here on the link below. So when you double click on the link, you can open it on the new tab so you can compare it. Compare it with what your chat AI will give you as a result on what is happening. And that result is on my 3 ports that are open. I have 135, 139, 445 that are open. But in yours, I can see almost close to either 10 or 12 ports that are open. Okay. So we have the next ones, service version detection. I think we also included SV in this our deep scan. Service version is to know the kind of services that are running on, identifies the version of service that are running on your system. If your system is running any service that is vulnerable, when you run this scan, it should be able to provide results to it. And also I have an extended explanation of this scan also in the document here. So the document is live. When you click on it, you can send it to the next page so that it will open. So let us run it as a single command. Should I run it on the Windows? Let me try running it on my Windows. Nmap SV capital V, then 192.168.8. I can't remember my Windows again, but let me try 101 and see. Host seems to be down. Host seems to be down. I can't remember my Windows. Okay, my Windows should be 107. Let me check. Thank you. Oh no, okay. So you see, that's my service for my Windows. Now, also take a look at what is happening here. By the time I was preparing this our curriculum, my Windows was .101. Now that I am running it on this present time, my Windows is .107. Why is that so? Do you have any idea?
Is it because you can't read, what am I saying? I think the IP addresses cannot be the same for the Windows every day. I think it has something to do with explanation.
Okay. Ports, networks do reset and do reshuffle. And once that is done, your device, either your Wi-Fi or your hotspot or your router, will tend to share or reshare or reshuffle the addresses. So, and that is called, I think it is dynamic. It is not static, meaning it is using a dynamic protocol to reshuffle the addresses, IP addresses. So meaning I might come back tomorrow in this particular class and my Windows will be 108 or 110 or 115. But you can also decide to keep your devices on one particular address. And you can do that by going to your Wi-Fi or router page and do all those. Your chat AI assistant can help you to do that. So most of my important servers, I keep them on one particular address, one particular IP, so that they don't have to be swapping every time. Do you understand me?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so now I ran the scan and I'm seeing some versions, service detection versions running. If you are doing a penetration testing or you're doing your SOC analyst job and you run a scan on a network and it gives you these results, that network already is vulnerable, because this is the first step of forming weapons against the system. Did I make any sense?
Yeah.
Good. So a system should try as much as possible to reduce the surface area of attack. For example, now when you score my Windows to your Windows, my Windows is scoring 7/10, your Windows is scoring 4/10. Can you tell me why?
Yeah, because I have lots of ports open. So
Yes,
not able
and
to attack.
exactly. Now you're getting the flow. Fantastic. So when you go through, share your results to ChatGPT, your AI assistant, so that it can direct you on the ones that are vulnerable, the ones to close, and the ones to whatever it is. Then you also let me know how it goes about. It's an interesting series and sequence. So within the, go ahead. You have a question?
How do I close, yeah, how do I close them?
Exactly. That's the question you're supposed to ask your AI assistant. It will give you the
All
directions on
right.
how to close them anywhere. Some of them you have to go to your Microsoft tools and go and just deactivate them. Some of them are just running on their own. You go and deactivate them. Yeah. It's not really hard, but those are little things you ask it and it will show you. So the next one is the operating system of the. If you notice that deep dive scan we did kind of merged all these individual results. You see, we have dash O, the other one SV, the other one SS. So, but these are the individual what's it called, commands on their own to just run it. So this one guesses the target OS in that device, meaning that device you are targeting or you are scanning, what operating system is it running? And from here, you can see the results I got. This one is running a Linux kernel. If you run it on your Windows address, it will show you that it is running a Microsoft address, sorry, a Microsoft service operating system. Sorry. So the next one is vulnerability scanning. This one is another interesting scanning too, to find out which particular service that is running on your system is very vulnerable according to common vulnerabilities and exposures that are known. CVE is known for common vulnerabilities and exposure, and this is according to the NSE and the CVE protocols. I want you to read up a little bit about common vulnerabilities and exposures. In fact, just copy this. Copy this and tell your um, chat assistant to explain to you what it means. It's going to give you a little note that will explain to you what the NSE engine, script engine is, and also common vulnerability in exposures. When you start working fully, you will find out that some of the when you do a test on a system, you have to match it to common vulnerabilities and exposures. For example, if I scan your system and I found port 22 open, it means that port 22 is actually a secure shell port and is running a service of secure shell. So if I find it open, it is very, very bad in a network or in a device. And it is one of the common vulnerability exposures that you should be looking out for when you are running scannings or when you want to protect a system. So just for add-ups, if you go on Google and search for CVEs, common vulnerability and exposure, you will have a very interesting result. Let it load up. Just like every other sector, there are, how do I call it, standardized vulnerabilities that are known, very known in the internet. So now let's look at what Google said. CVEs, common vulnerability and exposure, are public and standardized list of cybersecurity vulnerabilities and exposure. Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it.
So please, when you're doing your homework, ensure to at least have basic understanding, a little bit understanding on all these stuffs. And that is why I have to put them in our training so that by the time you are done, you know a bit of so many things. Now, when they come out individually, you can now, buttress down on them and get more knowledge about them. So we'll be ending the class now. I think we've done close to 1 hour plus. The next time we'll be coming back, we'll be looking at another interesting tool called Wireshark. And what are we going to be doing with it? Wireshark is used for packet capture and threat detection. We are going to use it to capture, filter, and analyze network packets, also to spot anomalies. So that is what we're going to be doing in the next class, and we're going to use it to wrap up the introduction to what's it called, networking and threats fundamentals. So any question? Do you think you have?
Yeah, this.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was talking about the slides. Am I going to get
Yes.
the slide?
Yeah. The slide is available. It will be on the. Should I? Let me check. Yes, it should. Okay, it should be available at the end of this particular class, meaning at the end of your next class. That's when you get the slide. But the video of the one we've already done will be ready either today or by the end of today. But the slide will be available at the end of this section, meaning at the end of our next class, you will get the slide.
Okay, that's.
Yeah. So
We are going to.
yes, I will export the recording and share to you. I believe you already have a lot of things to do this week. You just have to get your hands busy. And you also said I should share with you the IAC2 extended materials. Okay, I will. When I drop your video recording, remind me again so that I'll just share the link with you from there.
All right.
Yeah. Have a nice time. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Yeah, that reminds me. Don't forget to tell the good news to people. We need yes.